So I went through the whole thing trying to order ink. It took me like 20 minutes to order some ink to go later to Target to pick it up because I need it today. But in the meantime, I'm going to just print my order receipts out on my label printer. They will be on sticky paper, but it's fine. When I'm working some orders, getting everything prepped and ready to ship. I have a couple of orders ready that I can go ahead and pack. They are right over here, ready to go. Nice, pretty, and sparkly. And I have one sitting on my desk because I was debating whether to coat this. This is a holographic one, but I feel like you can't really tell that it's like a color shift. You can tell there's holographic glitter in it. Just the gold just does not appear well on camera, but it is like this, like a holographic. It does give like a mirrored effect, not mirrored, but like a rainbow effect in the sun. But with this one, you can't really tell because it's so translucent. So I was thinking about updating this one to be more opaque. I went ahead and poured one yesterday and I want to see how it turned out. And if it turned out good, I will go ahead and put another layer of resin onto this. So we'll see. I want to put a coat of UV resin on top of these. I have some screws that I need to spray and get ready to go. I'm also going to knock out my orders for Tuesday and hopefully as many as I can today because tomorrow is my hubby's birthday. He's so easy to shop for. If I can't find anything in Target, I'm going to go over to Old Navy. I prefer to go to Old Navy first because that's his vibe. You know, it's an Old Navy vibe. I think my vibe would be Five Below. I feel like my vibe is more Target. His vibe is Old Navy. Let me ask you, if you were a store, what store would you be? Comment down below what store you would be if you were a store. I'm going to do a little bit of a compare and contrast with the gold frame I poured yesterday in the frame that I'm making for that isn't as opaque. Like, you can see my hand right through it. Mold. This is, yeah, this is giving a little bit of that. So yeah, you can see the mirror like rainbow like shine compared to this one. You can't really see it. It is very, very opaque. It's not very sunny out. The sun isn't in my window just yet, but in a few hours, maybe I have to show you how this looks. keep doing that?